Joe Biden is canceling his Inauguration Day Parade, all as a massive MAGA rally sweeps through D.C. In this video, we're going to take a look at the radical contrast between Biden and Trump, how Biden is actually having to do his best to hide the fact that no one is going to show up to his supposed inauguration, and how rallies for President Trump are flooding D.C. as we speak, showing to the world that the MAGA movement is just getting started. You are not going to want to miss this. Welcome, everyone. The happiest of New Year's to each and every one of you. Dr. Steve here, ready to bring you our latest episode celebrating the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a regular part of this channel where each and every day we focus on optimism and encouragement in the midst of all the defeatist fake news nonsense spewed out by the mainstream media. But first, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's Prepper's Peak new solar water heater. Now, with all the lockdowns that we've been experiencing over the last several months, this solar water heater can turn out to be our very best friend. The solar water heater is an amazing device. It allows you to heat and boil water outdoors using simply sunlight. It can heat water in as little as 30 minutes. It'll work anywhere the sun shines. You can use it to boil water, to cook noodles and rice, and sterilize water for drinking. Great for you campers. It's easy to clean. It can be used anywhere there's sunlight. And the best part is that if you click on the link below, you'll actually get an additional 20% off their already reduced price. So don't wait. It is a limited time offer. Click on that link below before they sell out and get your own Patriot Sun Cooker today. All right, let's dive right in here. It's being reported that Joe Biden's inaugural parade is in effect being canceled, in terms of the parade being held in D.C. in person to see Joe Biden take the oath of office if he's able to prevail on January the 6th. It's been confirmed that viewing stands were taken down in D.C. USA Today is reporting the following, quote, "Workers on Tuesday broke down the inaugural parade reviewing stand in front of the White House ahead of what President-elect Joe Biden's transition team plans for a mostly virtual inauguration. Aides of the president-elect say that such infrastructure will not be necessary for the reimagined event. When the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Committees first organized in June of 2020, its membership committed to planning ceremonies that were as safe and traditional as possible, a spokesperson for the JCCIC said in a statement. In light of the ongoing pandemic, in order to keep everyone safe, we strongly encourage people to stay home and view the virtual program in addition to the traditional broadcast. Please stay home." So now it's being widely reported that Sleepy Joe is going to have what they're calling a, quote, virtual inauguration, which means, of course, no actual physical inauguration parade on January 20th in Washington, D.C. No, instead, Biden is going to have a nationwide parade, but it's all going to be virtual. It'll be a parade across America, but no one will actually be in attendance because, well, you know, COVID, right? That's right. COVID restrictions are supposedly preventing the Biden Inaugural Committee from planning to put on an actual inauguration parade. They're canceling all actual physical inaugural events, or at least people being able to attend them because of, yes, COVID. Now, if you buy that, I've got some oceanfront property in Arkansas that I'd like to sell you. I think this is a wonderful lesson for all of you who are worried that if President Trump does not prevail this week, 2016 will have been the last fair and free election in our nation's history. And this is because you can only war against reality for so long before reality comes back to bite. You can only war against reality so long before reality comes back to bite. And that is precisely what's happening here with Sleepy Joe. The media has been painting a portrait of Joe Biden that simply does not correspond to reality, both with regard to Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris, who's even more unpopular than Joe Biden, if that were possible. Remember, Harris had to drop out of the race before the first caucus or primary. The media has led us to believe that Biden and Harris are two of the most popular people that ever walked the planet. They are beyond reproach. They are beyond criticism or disapproval. They were elected in the single most pristine and immaculate election ever to take place in the history of humanity. And then as they prepare for the inaugural parade, when their supposed hundreds of thousands of adoring fans have the opportunity to share this great moment with Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris in person, all of a sudden reality sets in. The reality that nobody, literally nobody, gives a rip about these two people. Nobody cares about them. Nobody admires them. Nobody idolizes them. They are a total and complete fabrication. I think the election wizard said it best. I'm hearing rumors the Biden inauguration parade was canceled. That's a real bummer for the 10 people that plan to go, but will now have to cancel their trips. Nobody's buying this. Not even the people making this COVID excuse up. There's an inconvenient fact that is irrefutable. They are canceling this event because they know that nobody is going to show up. And they know that no one's going to show up to his inauguration precisely because nobody showed up to his campaign events. I'm sorry, I know we talked about this last week, but this is just too good. Do you remember the rally he had in Pennsylvania that was crashed by Trump supporters? It was so priceless. Biden had barely anyone show up at his rally, which was par for the course. He spoke to a half-empty parking lot, and Pennsylvania Trump supporters got word of it, and thousands of them showed up. There was a massive flash Trump rally that showed up to crash Biden's pathetic excuse for a rally. And you could see Biden got so upset. This is when he said the now infamous, I'm going to be president of everyone, both those who support me and those who don't support me, like those chumps out there blowing their horns. You know, it was utterly hilarious. And that was the pattern in the last few weeks of the campaign. Everywhere Biden went, freaking hundreds of Trump supporters showed up. It was utterly embarrassing. And so his campaign really was nothing more than a fabricated fiction concocted by the Democratic Party and the left-wing activists disguised as journalists in the mainstream media. And it's becoming increasingly obvious that there was always a radical discrepancy between the way the corporatist, globalist, left-wing media portrayed Biden, and continues to portray him, by the way, and the way the people, the populace, viewed him. I mean, to put it mildly, Biden has simply never, at any point throughout this entire election process, he's starting with the primaries, by the way, when he got 5th in New Hampshire, he has never connected with the people. Even in the election, Biden won an embarrassing 17% of counties in the nation. And then yet somehow, in the world of the mainstream media and big tech, this is perfectly logical, somehow he won more votes than any human being in the history of humanity. The truth is, Biden and Kamala couldn't draw flies to their inaugural parade, and that's why they're not having one. Now, in contrast to this, what we're seeing gathering in D.C. as we speak in support of President Trump is absolutely astonishing. Before we get into that, I want to personally invite you to our exclusive New Year's virtual conference this Saturday, January 9th, to help you feel prepared for the year ahead. Now, we've got some great guest speakers lined up. We've got Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastriano. He will be with us. Senator Mastriano has been one of President Trump's most vocal supporters fighting for election integrity. So Senator Mastriano will be with us. And we're going to have Ian Smith, the New Jersey gym owner, defying their governor's tyrannical lockdown orders. We're going to bring you the most amazing patriots who are fighting on the front lines for you and for me. And you get to see them from the comfort of your own living room. Now, seating for the conference is limited. Seats are going fast. But to make it even better, we are extending our 30% off for registration as part of our New Year's special. So don't wait. Make sure to click on that link below. Take advantage of our New Year's registration special. And you'll be glad to know that a portion of the proceeds are going to go to Good Neighbors Home Repair. So not only are you going to get blessed by this event, but you're going to bless others with your registration as well. So do not wait. Click on that link below and register for our New Year's virtual conference today. All right, so what are we seeing now for President Trump as they're taking away Biden's parade viewing stands that nobody was going to use anyway, right? Well, we're seeing nothing less than a massive crowd starting to descend upon the swampy city in support of President Donald J. Trump. There are actually several groups that have filed for permits there. We've got the group Stop the Steal. They'll be there. We've got Women for America First. They help organize November's Million MAGA March. They'll be in Freedom Plaza over the next couple of days. We've got the 80% Coalition. They're sponsoring the event called Rally to Save America. Their name, 80%, comes from the polls that show that 80% of Trump voters do not believe that Biden won the election fairly. You have to wonder what was going on with the other 20%. Another group, the Silent Majority, they'll be there. A number of patriot militias, like the Proud Boys, are scheduled to be there. They're purposely dressing incognito to blend in with the crowd to provide protection from Antifa activists who no doubt will show up to the event, or better, the multiple events going on throughout D.C. over the next couple of days. Now, of course, this massive rally is being scheduled to support those congressmen, those senators who are standing up and objecting to Biden's electors on Wednesday, the 6th of January. We just did a video where we outlined the strategy that Ted Cruz is following, which Vice President Mike Pence is telegraphing he's going to follow as well, which involves proposing a 10-day audit into the election results from the 6 disputed states. This is in line with what happened in 1876, which was the last time there was a disputed or contested election like this one. They appointed something they called an electoral commission, made up of a number of representatives, senators. It even had a number of Supreme Court justices who examined the evidence and made a determination. That's precisely what Cruz and others are arguing for. And it looks more and more like Vice President Pence may indeed rule in accordance with just such a recommendation. And as they deliberate, they're going to hear the sound of what promises to be hundreds of thousands of Trump supporters demanding electoral integrity and oversight from our elected leaders. And that picture, the picture of the MAGA crowd coming out in mass in support of our president, could not possibly be more stark from the media fabricated picture of Joe Biden. While Biden is literally having to take down parade viewing stands because they concluded nobody's going to show up for them. Trump supporters are descending on the city by the hundreds of thousands in support of a president that has fought for them for 4 years, and no one gives a rip about Biden. The contrast simply could not be more stark, and it's nothing less than a vivid representation of the more macrocosmic clash between the liberal globalist reset on the one hand and the nationalist populist reawakening on the other that's redefining politics for the foreseeable future. Make no mistake, the MAGA movement is just getting started. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. You definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded, as I was talking about it, on why this week is actually going to be like nothing we've ever seen. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.